Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on exponents and simplifying expressions with exponents using the rules. I have one big example in this video, and it's a doozy. So there's a lot of things going on. I have this really ugly fraction with a lot of similar bases, numbers that can be reduced, a negative. I have an exponent that has a negative and a fourth power. So what I want to do is I want to start with simplifying the fraction. I want to simplify what's there before I look at anything outside of the parentheses. My first step is I'm going to take my negative exponents and switch them, switch those bases. I'm going to take away the 0 power because anything to the power of 0 is 1, so that's just thrown in there to confuse you. Just knock it out right away. And then I am going to divide the numerator and denominator by 8. Okay, so when I do that, I'm going to put this negative up with a 16. I'm going to get negative 2, f to the 4, g to the positive 15. Once I move that g to the negative 15 to the numerator, it is the negative has done its work. The only point of that negative exponent is to switch that base between the numerator and denominator. A negative exponent means division, and when you divide division, it's the same as multiplication. Kind of like minus a negative is plus a positive. The two negatives cancel, the two divisors cancel, and you're left with multiplication. Okay, the h to the 7th is going to remain right where it is. 24 divided by 8 is 3. Now notice I put the negative with the 16. That doesn't mean both numbers are negative. If I made them both negative, the negative divided by a negative is positive. In this case, we would end up with the right answer. 2 wrongs would make a right, but in this case, I don't want to do 2 wrongs. I want to keep it accurate. So then, let's see, f to the 7. This g comes down, g to the 8 to the negative 4. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of inline simplification. That is to say, I have f to the 4th and f to the 7th, and what I want to do is combine them. So I'm going to take wherever, if we think of this as a battle between north and south, and each base, the numbers, the f's, the g's, the h's are different types of fighters in the army. The numbers might be the people in the airplane. Yeah, I'm not good with war terminology. And then the F are the people in the field. So if the north sends 4 and the south sends 7, math world is very violent and very equal. 1-on-1, both die. So if 4 goes against 7, 4 cancels out and the ones in the south win. The G's could be the gunmen. So the north sends 15, the south sends 8, the 15 is going to win out. I'm going to subtract 8 so that I now have negative 2, g to the 7th, h to the 7th, divided by 3 f cubed, all to the negative 4. Okay, so all that I've done so far in this problem is taken this really ugly fraction, and in 2 steps, I cleaned it up. If I didn't have the parentheses, I would be done. I've done all the simplification I can do on this fraction. It is as simplified as it gets. Now we have to deal with the exponent attached to the parenthesis, and the first thing I'm going to do is that negative. I'm going to take the negative and the 4 as 2 separate steps. A negative exponent attached to parentheses means reciprocal. It means everybody switches sides. So that negative, when I rewrite this problem, I'm just going to find the reciprocal. The 3f cubed comes to the numerator, the negative 2g to the 7th, h to the 7th goes to the denominator, and my exponent becomes positive. Once we've dealt with the negative part of the exponent, shifted it, found the reciprocal, once we've done the negative, we don't write it anymore. It's done its duty to our math problem. Let it go. Now we need to take all 5 bases to the power of 4. This is a really big mistake I see when students know the 3 variables, their exponents get multiplied by 4, but the 2 and the 3 get skipped. And then when they don't get skipped, students don't think about a negative times a negative is positive. A positive times a negative is negative. A negative times a negative is positive. If I have an exponent that is even, my final answer should be positive. So I have 3 to the 4th times f to the 3 times 4 divided by negative 2 to the 4th, g to the 7 times 4, and h to the 7 times 4. So I just took this 4, there's a 1 here, and I just brought it in to all 5 bases. Because if I were to write it out as 4 parenthetical phrases, all 5 of those numbers would be written 4 times. I know you're thinking a variable isn't a number, but a variable is a placeholder for a number. Okay, 3 to the 4th, 81. 3 times 4, 12. Negative 2 to the 4th is a positive 16. 7 times 4 is 28, and 7 times 4 is still 28. And we're done. I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned something new. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.